The Constitution of India, Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution.
Hi students, welcome back to zoology class. Hope all are fine and safe at home. In the last class, we have studied about 4 different kinds of tissue which can be found in the animal body, isn't it? Which are the 4 different kinds of tissues? Yes, epithelial tissue, connective tissue, nervous tissue and muscular tissue, isn't it? Among these 4 tissue, we have studied about the epithelial tissue in detail, isn't it? And today we are going to study about the connective tissues, okay, which is the connective tissue. What is meant by connective tissue? Connective tissues are the tissues which are used to hold, support and join the tissues together. Okay. This tissue will provide a structural framework for all the organs. Okay. Not only that, when we consider a typical connective tissue, we can see 3 important parts associated with a connective tissue. That means we can see cell, fibers as well as a ground substance known as matrix in a typical connective tissue. The fibers which can be found in the connective tissue include collagen fibers, elastin fibers, etc. Cells which can be found in the connective tissue may vary. Most commonly we can call these cells as fibroblast and cell vilika. Okay. Before going into the functions of connective tissue, I will tell you the examples of some connective tissue. Adipose tissue, areolar tissue, blood, cartilage, bone, ഇതൊക്കെ വരുന്നത് connective tissue ന്റെ examples ആയിട്ടാണ്. So what will be the function of this connective tissue? Yes. So what are the important functions of this connective tissue? Let me take each example. After that I will tell you the function of each part of the connective tissue. Okay. First example is blood. Blood is a connective tissue which is used to transport materials between different parts of the body. Another connective tissue is adipose tissue. It will help to store the fat material below the skin. Besides this, bones, cartilage, this kind of connective tissue will provide a structural framework to us. The WBC cells which can be found inside the blood will provide immunity for our body. So what are the general functions of the connective tissue? These tissues, connective tissues will help to transport materials between different body parts. It will help to store the fat material and it will provide a structural framework for different organs. Besides this, it will help in the tissue repair also. So these are the main functions of what? Connective tissue. I have already told you that a typical connective tissue may have 3 parts: cells, fibers as well as matrix, isn't it? Based on the arrangement of cells and fibers in that connective tissue, we can divide the connective tissue into 3 main categories. They are loose connective tissue, dense connective tissue and specialized connective tissue. In loose connective tissue, we can see the arrangement of cells and fibers loosely. That means in loose connective tissue, the cells and fibers are loosely arranged in the ground matrix. അതായത് മെട്രിക്സിൽ സെൽസും ഫൈബേഴ്സും ലൂസ്ലി അറേഞ്ച് ചെയ്ത് കാണപ്പെടുകയാണെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ അത്തരത്തിലുള്ള കണക്റ്റീവ് ടിഷ്യൂവിനെ എന്ത് പറയും? യെസ്, ലൂസ് കണക്റ്റീവ് ടിഷ്യൂ എന്ന് പറയും. എക്സാമ്പിൾ ഏതൊക്കെയാണ്? അഡിപ്പോസ് ടിഷ്യൂ ആസ് വെൽ ആസ് ഏരിയോളാർ ടിഷ്യൂ. ദീസ് 2 tissues are the examples of loose connective tissue. Where can we see this areolar tissue? Areolar tissue can be seen below the skin. Epithelium ഒരു സപ്പോർട്ട് കൊടുക്കുന്നത് ആരാണ്? ഈ areolar tissue ആണ്. Okay. When we consider areolar tissue like that of the other connective tissue, it has 3 main parts. Okay, which are they? Yes, cells will be there, fibers will be there and matrix will also be there. Matrix is a semi-fluid ground substances in which we can see cells and fibers. Okay. Mast cells, macrophages, fibroblasts are the 3 different kinds of cells which can be seen inside a typical areolar tissue. I'll tell you once more. Macrophages, mast cell as well as fibroblasts are the 3 different kinds of cells which can be found inside a areolar tissue. In addition to these cells, areolar tissue contains certain fibers also. That means the cells are arranged along with the certain fibers. There are two types of fibers can be seen inside this particular areolar tissue. They are collagen as well as elastin fibers. Okay. So what are the peculiarities of the areolar tissue? Yes. Areolar tissues can be seen in the skin just below the epithelial tissue. It will provide a support for the epithelial tissue. And it contains three basic parts, which are the cells, fibers as well as matrix. Matrix is a semi-fluid ground substance in which we can see different kinds of cells like that of macrophages, fibroblasts as well as mast cells. The fibers which can be seen along with these cells include elastin as well as collagen fibers. We have one more loose connective tissue, isn't it? Which is the, yes, adipose tissue. It can also be seen under the epithelial tissue. Adipose tissues are the storage site of fat. Okay, that means when we take excess food material, at that time the excess nutrient content can be changed into the form of fat. This fat can be stored under the skin. Okay, അതായത് നമ്മൾ കഴിക്കുന്ന ഫുഡിലുള്ള fatty substance എവിടെയാണ് സ്റ്റോർ ചെയ്യപ്പെടുന്നത്? It can be stored under the സ്കിന്നിനുള്ളിൽ അടിയിലാണ് സ്റ്റോർ ചെയ്യപ്പെടുന്നത്. And we have studied about two loose connective tissues in it, which are the, yes, areolar tissue and adipose tissue. Now let's study about dense connective tissue. What is the peculiarity of the dense connective tissue? In the case of dense connective tissue, we can see cells and fibers in a compact manner. That means here the cells and fibers are arranged compactly in the matrix. Matrixിനുള്ളിൽ cells and fibers compact ആയിട്ടായിരിക്കും അറേഞ്ച് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ അത്തരത്തിൽ അറേഞ്ച് ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ള ടിഷ്യൂവിനെ നമ്മൾ വിളിക്കുന്ന പേരാണ് dense connective tissues. There are two kinds of dense connective tissue, dense regular as well as dense irregular. What is meant by dense regular connective tissue? In which, in the case of dense connective tissue, cells and fibers are arranged in a particular manner. That means here we can see cells in the form of row and fibers can be seen in between the cells as bundles. Okay, അതായത് സെൽസ് ഒരു റോ ആയിട്ടും കാണപ്പെടും, അതിനിടയിൽ ഫൈബേഴ്സ് ബണ്ടിൽസ് ആയിട്ടും കാണപ്പെടും. ഇത്തരത്തിൽ കണക്റ്റീവ് ടിഷ്യൂ കാണുകയാണെങ്കിൽ അത്തരത്തിലുള്ള കണക്റ്റീവ് ടിഷ്യൂ ആണ് നമ്മൾ എന്ത് പറയുക, ഡെൻസ് കണക്റ്റീവ് ടിഷ്യൂ എന്ന് പറയുക. ഓക്കെ, സോ വാട്ട് ഈസ് ദ പെക്യുലാരിറ്റി ഓഫ് ദ ഡെൻസ് കണക്റ്റീവ് ടിഷ്യൂ? ഇൻ വിച്ച് ദ സെൽസ് ആൻഡ് ഫൈബേഴ്സ് ആർ കോമ്പാക്ട്ലി അറേഞ്ച്ഡ്. That means cells can be seen in the form of row and fibers can be seen as bundles in between the cells. Okay, dense regular connective tissue എക്സാമ്പിൾ ഏതൊക്കെയാണ്? അതെ, ligaments as well as tendons. ലിഗമെൻസും ടെൻഡൻസും ആണ് എക്സാമ്പിൾ. എന്തിനാ ലിഗമെൻസ്, എന്തിനാ ടെൻഡൻസ് എന്ന് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അറിയാമല്ലേ? ലിഗമെൻസ് എന്തിനു വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ്? ദീസ് ആർ ദ സ്ട്രക്ചേഴ്സ് ഓർ ദീസ് ആർ ദ കണക്റ്റീവ് ടിഷ്യൂസ് വിച്ച് ആർ യൂസ്ഡ് ടു കണക്ട് ടു ബോൺസ് ടുഗദർ. രണ്ട് ബോൺസിനെ കണക്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്ന സ്ട്രക്ചേഴ്സിനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ ലിഗമെൻസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. കണക്റ്റീവ് ടിഷ്യൂസിനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ ലിഗമെൻസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. And what is the peculiarity of this ligament? This ligament may contain two types of fibers, collagen as well as elastin fibers will be there. Okay, tendon is a dense regular connective tissue which is used to connect or which is used to join a bone with a muscle. Okay, here we can see only one kind of fibers, that is collagen fibers. Okay, I have already told you about two kinds of dense connective tissues in it, which are the dense regular as well as dense irregular. Dense regular എന്താണെന്ന് ഞാൻ already പറഞ്ഞു with example, isn't it? Now let's study about dense irregular connective tissue. What will be the peculiarities of this dense irregular connective tissue? In the case of dense irregular connective tissue, we can see cells and fibers in an irregular manner. That means it will orient differently without any special kind of arrangement. അതായത് ഡെൻസ് ഇറഗുലറിൽ സെൽസും ഫൈബേഴ്സും ഓർഡർലി അല്ലാതെ ഇറഗുലർ ആയിട്ടായിരിക്കും അറേഞ്ച് ചെയ്ത് കാണപ്പെടുന്നത്. ഒരു ഡെഫിനിറ്റ് പാറ്റേണിലല്ല അറേഞ്ച് ചെയ്ത് കാണുന്നത്. അത്തരത്തിൽ സെൽസും ഫൈബേഴ്സും അറേഞ്ച് ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ള കണക്റ്റീവ് ടിഷ്യൂസിനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ എന്ത് പറയുക, ഡെൻസ് ഇറഗുലർ കണക്റ്റീവ് ടിഷ്യൂ എന്ന് പറയാം. ഇറ്റ് ക്യാൻ ഓൾസോ ബി ഫൗണ്ട് ബിനീത്ത് ദ സ്കിന്നിലാണ് നമ്മൾ കാണുന്നത്. I have already told you that connective tissues can be divided into three categories: loose connective tissue, dense connective tissue and specialized connective tissue. I have already told you about the loose as well as dense connective tissue. Shall we move on to the specialized connective tissue? Okay, these tissues are adapted for performing different functions. For example, bone, blood, cartilage, these are the examples of specialized connective tissue. ഈ ടിഷ്യൂസ് എടുത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞ് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമുക്കൊരു കാര്യം മനസ്സിലാവും, ഓരോ ടിഷ്യൂവും ഒരു പെർട്ടിക്കുലർ ഫംഗ്ഷന് വേണ്ടി അഡാപ്റ്റഡ് ആയിരിക്കും, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സ്പെസിഫിസിറ്റി ഉണ്ടാവും ഓരോന്നിനും. ഓക്കെ, സോ അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് നമ്മൾ ഇതിനെ എന്ത് പറയുക, സ്പെഷ്യലൈസ്ഡ് കണക്റ്റീവ് ടിഷ്യൂ എന്ന് പറയുക. ആദ്യം തന്നെ നമുക്ക് കാർട്ടിലേജിനെ കുറിച്ച് പഠിക്കാം. Cartilage is a solid, flexible, semi-rigid connective tissue. This cartilage is there to provide a structural framework for many organs. For example, we can see this cartilage in the tip of the nose as well as in the joints of the outer ear and in between the vertebral column. That means in between the vertebrae of the vertebral column, etc. and this will provide a flexibility for that particular organ also. Due to the presence of this cartilage, there will be a flexibility for that particular organ, and this cartilage contain a solid protein in its matrix. Besides this, we can see fibers known as collagen fibers in their matrix, in the matrix of the cartilage. Okay, cartilaginous matrix contains certain solid protein in it. These solid proteins are known as chondrin. Okay, besides this chondrin, we can see certain collagen fibers inside the matrix. Okay, and there are certain fluid filled spaces inside the matrix. We can call these fluid filled spaces as lacunae. It contain the cartilaginous cells in it. What is that cartilaginous cell? Which is the cartilaginous cell? Yes, chondrocytes are the cartilaginous cells. Bone is the another specialized connective tissue. Matrix of the bone contains specialized calcium salt. Along with that, we can see certain fibers also. That means we can see certain collagen fibers inside the matrix. Besides this, there are certain concentric rings inside the bone cell, and these concentric rings are known as lamellae. Lamellae contain bone cell in it. These bone cells are known as osteocytes. So what are bones? Bones are the specialized connective tissue, and these are the solid, rigid, strong connective tissue which will provide a support framework for, or it will provide a structural framework for many organisms. This matrix of this bone contains certain calcium salts. Besides this, we can see certain collagen fibers inside the matrix. Calcium salt will provide a rigidity for this bone. That means our major organs are situated inside our thoracic cavity. For example, our lungs, heart, these organs are protected inside the bones which can be seen in the thoracic cavity. So what is the function of the bone? Yes, it will provide support as well as protection to the internal organs. Okay, bones will help to bear the weight. Okay, we have legs, and the legs is equipped with the bones. These bones are stronger enough to bear our whole weight. നമ്മുടെ മുഴുവൻ വെയിറ്റും താങ്ങാൻ ശക്തിയുള്ള ബോൺസ് ആണ് നമുക്കുള്ളത്. അപ്പോൾ ബോൺസ് എന്തിനു സഹായിക്കുന്നു? വെയിറ്റ് ബെയർ ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് സഹായിക്കുന്നു. ഇൻ അഡീഷൻ ടു ദാറ്റ്, ഇറ്റ് വിൽ പ്രൊവൈഡ് എ സൈറ്റ് ഫോർ ദ പ്രൊഡക്ഷൻ ഓഫ് സർട്ടൺ ബ്ലഡ് സെൽസ്. ചില ബ്ലഡ് സെൽസ് പ്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യപ്പെടുന്നത് ബോൺ മാരോയിൽ നിന്നാണ്. ഓക്കെ, ലോക്കോമോഷൻ ആൻഡ് മൂവ്മെൻറ്റ് ഈസ് പോസിബിൾ മെയിൻലി ബിക്കോസ് ഓഫ് ദ പ്രസൻസ് ഓഫ് ദിസ് ബോൺ. സോ വാട്ട് ആർ ദ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻറ്റ് ഫങ്ഷൻസ് ഓഫ് ദ ബോൺ? യെസ്, ഇറ്റ് വിൽ ഹെൽപ്പ് ടു ബെയർ ബോഡി വെയിറ്റ്. Okay, it will produce certain cells, and it will produce certain blood cells. Besides this, it will help in the locomotion as well as movement of an organism. It will provide a structural framework for the body also. So these are the major functions of the bone. Blood is another specialized connective tissue which is there to transport respiratory gases as well as nutrient to different part of the body, and it will help in the elimination of the waste material also. When we consider the composition of the blood, we can see cellular as well as non-cellular part. The cellular part of the blood is composed of different kinds of cells, and the non-cellular part is considered as the plasma, or plasma can be considered as the non-cellular part of the blood, isn't it? Cellular, how many cellular part contain different kinds of cells? Which are the cells? Yes, RBC, WBC, platelet, these are the cells which can be found in the cellular part, and plasma is the non-cellular part of the blood. Hope you have understood. ബ്ലഡിൻ്റെ കോമ്പോസിഷനും അതിനെക്കുറിച്ചുള്ള കൂടുതൽ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് എല്ലാം നിങ്ങൾ ലോവർ ക്ലാസ് മുതൽ പഠിക്കുന്നത് കൊണ്ട് തന്നെ ഞാനതിവിടെ റിപ്പീറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല. എനിവേ, ബ്ലഡ് വിൽ ഓൾസോ കം അണ്ടർ ദ കാറ്റഗറി ഓഫ് സ്പെഷ്യലൈസ്ഡ് കണക്റ്റീവ് ടിഷ്യൂ. ബ്ലഡ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഏതാണ്? സ്പെഷ്യലൈസ്ഡ് കണക്റ്റീവ് ടിഷ്യൂ ആണ്. ഓക്കെ, നൗ ലെറ്റ്സ് സ്റ്റഡി അബൌട്ട് ദ മസിൽ ടിഷ്യൂസ്. Muscle tissues are concerned with the locomotion and movement of an organism. It is composed of muscle cells. That means muscle tissue is made from muscle cell, and these muscle cells are capable of contraction as well as relaxation. This contraction and relaxation of the muscle cells are responsible for locomotion and movement. When we consider a typical muscle tissue, it consists of a number of muscle cells in it. Okay, each muscle cell is known as muscle fiber. Okay, so each muscle cell is known as muscle fiber, and when we consider a single muscle fiber, it is covered with a plasma membrane like that of the all other cell, and this plasma membrane is known as sarcolemma. What is that? Sarcolemma. And the protoplasm of this muscle cell is known as sarcoplasm. Sarcoplasm of each muscle cell contains certain specialized long structures in it. These long structures are known as myofibrils. It contains two types of proteins in it. They are actin as well as myosin proteins. Actin as well as myosin, and these two proteins have a major role in the contraction of this muscle cell. Hope you have understood. I'll tell you once more. When we consider a typical muscle tissue, it is made up of a large number of muscle cells. These muscle cells are known as muscle fibers. A single muscle fiber is surrounded by a plasma membrane. This plasma membrane is known as plasma lemma. Inside the muscle cell, we can see protoplasm. This protoplasm of the muscle cell is known as sarcoplasm. Sarcoplasm contains certain elongated structures, Sarcoplasm contains certain specialized elongated structures in it. These structures are known as myofibrils. When we take a single muscle myofibril, it consists of two proteins known as actin as well as myosin. Actually, these two proteins are responsible for the contraction of these muscle cell. Which is the basic fundamental unit of a muscle tissue? Yes, it is myofibril. Myofibril can be considered as the basic fundamental unit of a muscle tissue. ഒരു മസിൽ ടിഷ്യൂവിൻ്റെ ബേസിക് ഫണ്ടമെൻ്റൽ യൂണിറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് നമ്മൾ കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്യുന്നത് ഏതാണ്? മയോഫൈബ്രിലാണ്. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ സ്ട്രക്ചറൽ ഫംഗ്ഷണൽ യൂണിറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്യുന്നത് ആരെയാണ്? മയോഫൈബ്രിലാണ്. Now let's study about the classification of the muscle tissue. Muscle tissues can be classified into three main categories. They are skeletal muscles or striated muscle, non-striated muscle or smooth muscle, then cardiac muscle. So how many kinds of muscles are there in the How many kinds of muscle tissues are there in the human body? Three kinds of muscle tissues are there in the human body. Which are they? Skeletal muscle, non-striated muscle as well as cardiac muscle. Skeletal muscle is otherwise known as striated muscle. Non-striated muscle is otherwise known as smooth muscle. Then last one is cardiac muscle. Okay. Now let us study the fundamental features of the muscle tissue. Muscle tissue in the fundamental features എന്തൊക്കെയാണെന്ന് പറയാം. These muscle tissues are found associated with the skeleton. So what will be the function of this tissue? It will facilitate the locomotion process. This muscle is otherwise known as striated muscle. Why? Because it has certain striations. We can see certain cross striations in its individual cells. So these muscles are known as what? Striated muscles. Due to the presence of these striations, we can call these muscles as striated muscle. When we consider a single striated muscle, it consists of individual cells. Okay, these cells are elongated cells. That means each striated muscle cell contains an elongated cell with it. There won't be any interconnection between the individual cells of the striated muscles. Due to the absence of this interconnection, we can say that these muscles are devoid of intercalated discs. That means intercalated discs are the certain region which is used to connect the individual cells of a muscle. Here we can't see this intercalated disc. Okay, intercalated disc നമുക്ക് ഇവരുടെ കേസിൽ കാണാനായിട്ട് പറ്റില്ല. Another important peculiarity is that these are voluntary muscles. That means these will work according to our will. Okay, these can be worked according to our will. നമ്മുടെ ആഗ്രഹത്തിനനുസരിച്ച് ഇത് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യിപ്പിക്കാൻ പറ്റും എന്നുള്ളതാണ് ഈ സ്ട്രൈറ്റഡ് മസിലിൻ്റെ മറ്റൊരു പ്രത്യേകതയായിട്ട് പറയാൻ പറ്റുന്നത്. These muscles get fatigued easily when it overworked. Okay, എപ്പോഴാണ് ഓവർ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നത് അപ്പോൾ ഇത് കൂടുതലായിട്ട് ഫാറ്റീഗ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന അവസ്ഥയിലേക്ക് പോകാനുള്ള സാധ്യത കൂടുതലാണ്. So we have studied the important features of the striated muscle, isn't it? Which are they? Yes, striated muscles are the muscles which can be found associated with the skeletal system. Okay, besides this, these are elongated cells. That means these muscles contain elongated cells with a single. There won't be any interconnection between the individual cells of this muscle cell. There won't be any interconnection between the individual cells of this muscle. So we can say that there is no intercalated disc in this particular type of striated muscle. Besides that, they are working according to our will. That means it can be worked according to our will. Besides these cells can be easily fatigued when overworked. Okay, so these are the important features of the striated muscle. Now let's study the important features of the non-striated muscle or smooth muscle. Smooth muscle can be seen inside a hollow visceral organs. Okay, it can be seen inside of all of the hollow visceral organs. But in the case of these smooth muscles, we cannot see any kind of striations. So we can say that these are non-striated muscles. Okay, due to the absence of striations, these kind of smooth muscles are known as non-striated muscle. When we consider a single smooth muscle, we can see individual muscle cell in it. What is the peculiarity of each muscle cell in the non-striated muscle? Yes, these cells are elongated spindle-shaped cells with a single nucleus at its center. അതായത് ഈ ഒരു പെർട്ടിക്കുലർ നോൺ സ്ട്രൈറ്റഡ് മസിൽ എടുത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞ് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അതിൽ ലാർജ് നമ്പർ ഓഫ് സെൽസ് ഉണ്ടാവും. ഈ ലാർജ് നമ്പർ ഓഫ് സെൽസിൽ ഓരോന്നും നമ്മൾ എടുത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഓരോന്നും സ്പിൻഡിൽ ഷേപ്ഡ് ആയിട്ടായിരിക്കും കാണുന്നത്. അത് മാത്രമല്ല ഒരു സെൻറ്റർ ന്യൂക്ലിയസ് നമുക്ക് ഇവരിൽ കാണാനായിട്ട് പറ്റും. ഓക്കെ, and it will fatigue when overworked. When we overwork, at that time it gets fatigued easily. Not only that, we cannot see any kind of interconnection between the individual cells of this muscle. So we can say that these are the muscles without intercalated disc. There won't be any intercalated disc. Another important peculiarity is that it will not fatigue when overworked. Okay, അതായത് അമിതമായിട്ട് വർക്ക് ചെയ്തെന്ന് കരുതിയിട്ട് ഇത് ഫാറ്റീഗ്ഡ് ആകുന്ന അല്ല ഏതെന്ന് പറയുന്നത് സ്മൂത്ത് മസിൽ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, So what are the important peculiarities of the smooth muscle? Yes, these are the muscles which can be found inside the hollow visceral organs. Okay, we cannot see any kind of striations in these muscles, so these muscles are otherwise known as non-striated muscle. When we consider a single non-striated muscle, it consists of large number of cells. Each cell is spindle-shaped cell with a single nucleus in it. So we can call this particular condition as uninucleated condition. And there won't be any interconnection between the individual cells. So absence of the intercalated disc is another peculiarities of this muscle, another peculiarity of these muscles. Besides this will not work according to our will. Okay, that means these are involuntary muscles. It will not fatigue easily when overworked. Okay, this muscle overwork ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയം പെട്ടെന്ന് fatigued ആവാത്ത muscle ആണ്. Let's study about cardiac muscles. Cardiac muscles are the special kind of muscle which can be found in the heart. In the case of this cardiac muscle, we can see certain alternate dark and light band in the each cell of these cardiac muscles. Not only that, these cells are elongated cells. But in the case of this cardiac muscles, we can see certain interconnection between the individual cells. So we can say that there are intercalated discs between the individual cells of the cardiac muscles. Okay, intercalated disc നമുക്ക് ഈ cardiac musclesനെ ഇടയ്ക്ക് കാണാൻ പറ്റും. അതുകൂടാതെ തന്നെ muscles will not work according to our will. Okay, and it will not fatigue easily when overworked at that time also. Okay, I'll tell you once more. These muscles will not work according to our will. Not only that, it will not fatigue easily when overworked. What are the important features of the cardiac muscle? Yes, these cardiac muscles can be found associated with the heart. And when we consider a single cardiac muscle, it consists of individual cells. A large number of cells can be seen. These cells are elongated cells. There will be a connection between individual cells. So we can say that these are the cells with the intercalated disc. That means these are the muscles with the intercalated disc. What is the role of this intercalated disc? എന്തിനാണ് intercalated disc ഉള്ളതെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ഒരുമിച്ച് കോൺട്രാക്ഷൻ പോസിബിൾ ആക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ്. അതായത് ഒരു സെൽ എക്സൈറ്റഡ് ആവുന്നതിനോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ അതിൻ്റെ ചുറ്റുമുള്ള സെല്ലിനെ കൂടി എക്സൈറ്റഡ് ആക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അതിന് ചുറ്റുമുള്ള സെല്ലിനെ കൂടി ആ ഒരു ഇമ്പൾസ് പാസ് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ് intercalated disc. Cardiac muscles will not work according to our will. Besides this, it will not fatigue even when overworked. Okay, now let's study about the neural tissue. You might have studied about this neural tissue in the lower classes, isn't it, children? So no need of further explanation. Again, I'll tell you the main points. I'll tell you some main points related to this neural tissue. Okay. What is the function of the neural tissue? Yes, it is responsible for receiving and transmitting impulses towards the brain and from the brain to different part of the body. Isn't it? And this conductivity is one of the important peculiarity of the neural tissue. That means this conductivity of nerve impulse is one of the important peculiarity of the neural tissue. In addition to this, neural tissue has one more peculiarity, that it is highly excitable. This excitability and conductivity makes the neural tissue, makes the organism to respond well to the particular environment. I'll tell you once more. This excitability and conductivity of the neural tissue enable us to survive well in a particular environment. That means it will enable us to respond well during critical situations. Okay. We can see this neural tissue in our brain, spinal cord as well as ganglia. Okay, ganglia നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അറിയാം, ലോവർ ഓർഗാനിസത്തിൽ നെർവ് സെല്ലിൻ്റെ കൂട്ടത്തിനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ ഗാംഗ്ലിയ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ ഇവിടേക്കാണ് നമ്മൾ എന്ത് കാണുന്നത്? ന്യൂറൽ ടിഷ്യൂ കാണുന്നത്. And when we consider a neural tissue, it consists of two parts, neurons as well as neuroglia cells. Neurons can be considered as a structural as well as functional unit of the nervous system or neural tissue. Okay, nervous system. Neurons can be considered as the structural and functional unit of the nervous system, and neuroglia cells are the non-nervous cells that will support the neurons. Neuronsനെ സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന non-nervous cells ആണ് ഏതെന്ന് പറയുന്നത്? neuroglia cells. നമ്മൾ ഇന്ന് പഠിച്ചത് എന്താണ്? ഡിഫറെൻറ്റ് കൈൻഡ്സ് ഓഫ് ടിഷ്യൂസ് ആണ് അല്ലേ? വിച്ച് ആർ ദ ഡിഫറെൻറ്റ് കൈൻഡ്സ് ഓഫ് ടിഷ്യൂസ്? യെസ്, എപ്പിത്തീലിയൽ ടിഷ്യൂ, neural tissue, muscular tissue as well as connective tissue. ഇതിൽ നമ്മൾ 4 കൈൻഡ്സ് ഓഫ് ടിഷ്യൂസും ഇതുവരെ പഠിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞു. സോ സ്റ്റഡി ഇറ്റ് വെൽ, നന്നായിട്ട് ഇത് പഠിക്കുക. ഈ ഭാഗത്തു നിന്ന് എക്സാമിന് വരാനുള്ള സാധ്യത കുറച്ച് കൂടുതലാണ്. ഓക്കെ, ഓരോ ടിഷ്യൂസിനും എക്സാമ്പിൾ ഏതൊക്കെയാണെന്ന് ചോദിക്കാറുണ്ട്. പിന്നെ പിക്ചേഴ്സ്, ഇതുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് വരുന്ന പിക്ചേഴ്സ് വളരെ നന്നായിട്ട് നോക്കി വെക്കുക. കാരണം എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ പിക്ചേഴ്സിനെ ബേസ് ചെയ്തിട്ടായിരിക്കും ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ചോദിക്കുക. ഓക്കെ, hope you have understood the class well. If you have any doubt, please contact me. Stay safe. Bye.